is with ABC, and we're going to talk quite a lot about boarding scholars. And these in particular for the F1 in the US are where we're different to the rest. It's where we have some added value, and it's where we really want our agency partners to focus because we think it brings the best options that we run, specifically on the boarding side. If we look at things generally, we have USA and we have UK. In the USA, we have a wide selection of programs. We have boarding programs, we have host family programs, we're CSIET accredited. We have a lot of different options that we could go into great depth in, and we will do in different webinars as we go. We have college counseling for access into university in the US. We have summer camps in the US, one or two, not many, but in great locations, including San Francisco, is one of our best summer camp locations. In fact, on that summer camp, students have the opportunity to interact and learn with the American kids as well. It's an integrated summer camp. We have TIBSO, which is the boarding school organization, which is it's a brand of ABC that manages everything with boarding schools. Within TIBSO, we have the roadshows and the conventions. Some of you may have joined us on a roadshow, a fam trip, or one of our conventions. It's where we like to bring, well, for the fam trip, we bring agencies to the US to see the schools. We have wide coverage across the US. We run 3 fam trips per year. So that's an opportunity for later in the year. And we have a convention every year. It was in Mexico this year. It was in Croatia the year before. And it will be in Europe, I think in Spain next year. But I'll detail that later. We give the opportunity for all of our agency partners to join us in the convention as well. We are located in Boston, Massachusetts, is where our head office is. We have 2 actually. I am, as you can probably tell, from the UK, and we have a team of 7 in the UK. We're London based, and we operate our UK high school program from here. We run some European high school programs. We run Irish high school programs. We have around 75 public schools in the UK that we work with a host family exchange program, and we have summer camps in the UK. That's where my history goes back a long way, maybe 14 or even 15 years in the UK high school and UK summer camp field, and the last few years in the US. So I've kind of jumped ahead and introduced myself as we go on to this slide. That's me, and I'm sales director. So you can catch me for anything you need, US or UK. So I've got a big lot of experience with UK, good experience with the US, lots of responsibility with ABC for all of things Europe and Latin America in particular. So I think I've introduced myself quite well there, but I come from the industry. So it's a pleasure to have you. ABC F1, let's have a little look at what we do in the F1. There are 4 main areas of focus. So this is not specific for boarding scholars. This is our F1 operation generally. We have the residential house program. In fact, this is let's say this is our focused 4 areas of the F1. So between these 4 areas, we're picking out some of the most interesting and unique aspects of our F1 offering. One of them is the ABC Residential House program. There are 3 schools. If you take the exclusive day school, there are 6 in total. So of the 3 schools where we have invested in property nearby to the school, in most cases walking distance to the school, these are the residential house program schools. So what we've done is exactly that. We've invested in properties near some of our most popular and most numerous in terms of students schools. There are 3 of them. One's called Bethlehem Catholic High School in Pennsylvania. One's called Calvary Day in North Carolina, and one is called Cecina Memorial High School in Indiana, which is in the city of Indianapolis. So that's the urban option in a city of 1 million people. Bethlehem Catholic may be the most popular of the 3, 90 minutes drive to New York City. And it offers something between, let's say it's let's say it's the ABC boarding option, the ABC run. It's between a host family and a boarding. So it's a lovely big detached house with house parents that live inside, and large bedrooms with a dorm style for our ABC international students, is what that is. Exclusive day schools. So these include those 3 schools, and there are 6 of them. There are 5 on this list. Actually, there are 3 focuses, but there are now 6 in total. But these are basically schools where we are the only ones who work with them. So these are strength for you guys, because you know that there are no other sending organizations placing in those schools, and you know that we focus a lot of our effort on filling those schools first when it comes to host family. Those are day schools, those are host family options, those are low prices, good prices, and they're the places we look to first. Of course, we have options in California, we have options in Florida, we have options all over the US for host family day school, but we do have a great relationship with these schools. 3 of those schools we have such a great relationship with that we've invested in property nearby, and that's our residential house. So between the day school, the exclusive day schools, and the residential house program, that's an area of focus for us. We move to boarding. We have a long list of boarding schools. We call it the select list of boarding schools. You can find specific boarding schools. You can find focus in specific states that you'll be looking for, and you can find schools that you're looking for. You can find popular schools that students know about and that you'll be looking to target. Outside of that, so that's available with ABC. Outside of that, we have 2 programs. One is called Fast Track, one is called Boarding Scholars. Fast Track, effectively what it does is it guarantees a price for you before the student has completed the application. So we have more people arriving here. Welcome, Chris. Fast Track does that. It guarantees a price. You have a list price, and you'll be able to see and discuss with the family based on our pre-guaranteed list price for those Fast Track schools. There are 30 of them. There were 40 of them, and we then developed Boarding Scholars. So I'll talk about Boarding Scholars in detail, but Fast Track is that. It's guaranteed scholarships at our most popular boarding schools. So we've developed contracts with them that give us the ability to lock in a scholarship price, give it to our agency partner, and you will then communicate it to the family. They do not need to go through the long application process with financial aid. It's a lot quicker. It's the fast track.
Okay.
So, and just ask any questions as we go. I don't know if that's a question, but stop me as we go and ask questions, please do. So key benefits, guaranteed scholarship price. You know what you're dealing with before the application's submitted. The school honors that with us because we send them numbers and we send them diverse nationality mix.
So
There are 30 schools in that list. We have strength in Maine, Connecticut, New England. In general, we have options in California, San Francisco as well. We have a good coverage with those 30 schools. Then we look at scholars, and in effect, what is the scholars? It is the low cost fast track. You benefit from the application process, you benefit from the guaranteed scholarship price. It shares a lot of similarities with the fast track, but it's effectively our low cost, affordable boarding option, and it's popular as a result. These are not just low cost schools, they're trusted partnership schools as well. Students will avoid the financial aid process, families will, let's say, and the price is safe for you. It's a guaranteed price as long as the spots are available. I'll go into more detail. Let me see if I can. So Boarding Scholars Program. We've been through this a little bit. It's our low cost boarding F1 option. What is low cost? $20,000 net for a year, $16,000 net for a semester. These are all boarding schools. They're all trusted ABC partnerships. We send to them a lot. We have experience with them for years. We trust them and they trust us. The application process is quick. It is the same as the fast track. They will not need to go through the financial aid process in all of its depth in order to understand the scholarship. So there is speed and there's guarantees involved with this program. Spots going fast, that is important because it's first come, first serve as well. So we don't have unlimited spots at the scholars pricing. One good thing is, let's say if we have 10 spots with a certain school, and many agencies after this webinar have 2 or 3 students for said school, and we fill up the spots, the school is not closed to us, it's just we unlock the next tier and it goes back into fast track pricing. So the school will remain available. It will just move from scholars to fast track when our spot allocation at the scholars agreement is reached. What are the schools? There are now 7 schools. It's important, I'll start at the bottom here, with more to come. That's important because 7 is going to be a growing number. We already filled up at 1. It's gone back onto the fast track, which is called Oakwood Friends. So that has dropped by 1, but it will fill up. It will become more schools. But for now, for today, we're looking at 7 schools. We're looking at Michigan Lutheran High School, Kokomo in Indiana. We're looking at Life Prep in Kansas, Nebraska Christian Schools in Nebraska, the Menaul School in New Mexico for the warmer climate seekers, Gateway Legacy Christian School, we'll talk about sport at that school in Missouri, and North Cedar Academy up there in Wisconsin. We will look at each of those schools as well, so you guys can have a taste of what they're like. Students have the choice. Students have the choice. We have a price list that details the school, the price, the net price that we've been over, the dorm arrangement, the sports additions. We have an info sheet for each school, so you'll have everything you need. You can brief the family and the students can then make their priority selection. So you would then come back to us, double check everything, let us know the student information. We would confirm the spot and process complete. You would start with the application from there. All schools are priced at 20,000 for the year and 16,000 for the semester. Once again, it's a smooth process. It avoids the financial aid. It's quick for an application. What you give to your client, your family, is what they're going to get. They'll know the school in advance. The placement will happen. It's boarding. It's quick. It's guaranteed. It's reliable, and it's low cost. Fast track. Here is let's say a done in 5 steps route for the fast track. Remember that Boarding Scholars is low cost fast track in effect. So fast track shares similarities aside from the price. Fast track scholarships can be great as well. We have schools on the fast track, 25,000 for a year, 27,000 in Maine, 26,000. We have 30,000, lots of schools, 35,000. So there are good scholarships in great schools on the fast track. So there is an application simplified that can be submitted, interview arranged by the school, offer letter given by the school, deposit paid to ABC, I-20 visa interview scheduled. Quite simple, quite straightforward, no big financial aid process. What are the advantages? Guaranteed scholars prize for all accepted students. No financial aid application. Guaranteed pricing, prompt payment, processing to agency. In terms of commission structure, if we have one, these are net prices. 20,000 is a net price. If we are working on a gross, then commissions are quickly paid out. And the application process is streamlined. I think that covers with number 1 and 3 combined. I'll talk briefly about old school and today. So boarding historically, boarding as families know it, and where Boarding Scholars comes in with more modern approach. So we all know boarding, the traditional boarding, as private schools, prestigious. I've made it in bold at the bottom, maybe I should have put at the top, high price generally. Prestigious private schools with high prices. Very strong resources for student experience, very high level of academics, very strong academic counselling, of course, strong residential on-campus accommodation, and really an important one is considered an effective route to top universities, those private historic boarding school spots. They're across the country. We have great New England focus in Maine as well, Connecticut, Maine. We're great up in that sort of northeast area. Students who want to go on to university might choose this route, and graduation's a key factor in those boarding schools. How does it look, and what are the schools like that we're promoting with boarding scholars? How have things changed, or what are the USPs, let's say? How do we encourage the student family away from big public school host family F1 California selection, for example? Interesting schools, so different offering of activities, clubs, sports, styles, locations and sizes. Really can have exciting programs with wilderness, outdoor activities, skiing, great locations for these modern private boarding options. Still, they're very strong in resources. They're very strong in academics as well, and can be very strong in sports. Arts, for sure, they can be very strong, but you'll see one or two of these schools that we present very, very strong in sports as well. Residential on campus, and completely opposite from historic private boarding, low cost. Boarding scholars, reduced price options, boarding scholars for ABC students. This is a key point, these are not low-cost boarding schools. This is a low-cost program as a result of ABC, us sending diverse volumes to our best partnership schools, and as a result being able to operate this scholars program at a low cost. So it's not low-cost boarding, but it's a low-cost product with ABC. One last point, considered social, convenient, and fun. And then if you look bottom left, social, surrounded by students from all over the world. So there is an aspect here, if you're discussing host family and boarding with a family, this sort of program is the one where you won't receive the calls home so much. This is the program where there won't be so many issues, where first of all, the placement happens very quickly in the first place. There will be no risk of them approaching the departure date without a placement. Secondly, when they arrive, they're in a fun environment with weekend trips, sports, outings, people their own age in the campus with them at all times. So it's easy to make friends. They make international friends in the boarding house. They have American friends of the day students in the schools. So you don't have homesickness so much as you do on the host family side. There is not so much risk as there can be with host families, depending on the activity they organize for the weekend, how busy the student will be over the weekend. That's all taken care of in the boarding environment. So that's a key factor when making the choice between boarding and homestay. So we'll look at the schools. Kokomo is the biggest. Kokomo is the public option with the boarding house in the town. The others are all private with the boarding on campus. Kokomo is by far the biggest, 1,500 students at Kokomo. What does that bring? That brings competitive sporting options with a bigger school. Offers some IB as well. Many of these schools have the AP options. Almost all of them have ESL additional. They have different grade availabilities. You'll see Kokomo's 8 to 12, quite a reasonable application requirement for the IELTS. You can do the LTIS, but the 4.5 represents quite a reasonable and non-challenging entry requirement. Easier in boarding generally if the student has a slightly lower level of English. Diverse international student community and heavy investment in sports at this campus. Swimming, soccer, tennis, basketball, but the list does go on. And the key here, I think, is it's a big public option with boarding houses in the town as well. There are students here going to top tier universities. Harvard, MIT, I believe, was on the list as well. So matriculation tick for this school also. Just a few photos. So we won't delve into each school in great depth, but I will point you towards the resources that we'll give to you after this webinar, which include a fact sheet for each school. It's a 3-page document. I'll actually show you one of our tools that we've created in tandem with actually our colleague here, Andrea, is on the call. We have a wonderful map, interactive map that we'll share with you, where you can see where these schools are, how close to an urban settlement they are. Are they in the countryside? Are they near an open body of water or the forests? Are they in the city? So we'll share that at the end as well, so you have everything you need when your families are requesting the boarding option. Life Prep, Wichita, Kansas, private. So the rest of these are private. They're all co-ed schools. They're all boarding schools. They all now from Kokomo, so onwards, they all have campuses with boarding houses there. Some of them have different ratings on the niche. It's an A- niche school, Life Prep. The dorms are exceptional, good quality of dorms on campus. In fact, you'll find that in a lot of them, but these dorms are well regarded. These are top rated schools. We don't have to talk about the ranking 1 to 5, but you'll see as we go through the slides that these are well ranked boarding schools for either certain areas like STEM or STEAM. General could be Christian schools rankings as well. You'll see that we have good ranking of these schools. Slightly younger students can go to Life Prep from 5 to 12. Also has AP, has very strong art program. Graduation is okay from these schools generally. There are day students as well as boarding students, opens up international friendships and American, of course, with the day students, and strong sports, including some unique aspects like esports as well. You can see the difference here with some of these boarding schools that this is a more of a personal experience. 250 in this school. Kokomo 1500. Public schools in certain areas, more students. Some of these schools will offer lower rates of teacher to student and a more of a family feel to them as well. So this one, 250 in the school. A few photos of Life Prep, sport, and some lovely students there, and the theatre department. Gateway Legacy Christian Academy, 30 minutes from St. Louis, Missouri. Also private school, also co-ed, boarding on campus with a variety of rooms available, single, double, triple, and dorms. It's accredited by Cognia, recognized by the state of Missouri, and has some athletic options in there as well for budding athletes. This is the elite sport option. This school has the NCAA approved program, but it also has the 9th best soccer team in the country at this level. So you will have to fact check them on this because that is quite the claim, but this is the elite sport option. The sporting here is a high level, a very high level. So if you have sports athletes, if you have a family who has a child who needs that level and wants low-cost boarding at a prestigious location, doesn't necessarily need 2,000 students at the school, but needs that high level of sport, this could be a very good option for them. Lots of international students there, so exciting, fun environment to be in. 200 students in the school, big space campus, all the way through K to 12 with ESL available and AP. They have elite academics as well, medical, business, arts, and music. They have elite focuses there as well for students making those choices. Students progress and they've gone to Harvard, MIT, top progression as well. So the sport, let's say the sport, the elite sport, good academics, but certainly known for its sport options at Gateway Legacy Christian Academy. Michigan Lutheran, in Michigan, St. Joseph, Michigan, also private co-ed boarding. They've named their boarding house the Titan Center. It's apartment style. It's 90 minutes from Chicago, which is a good point on geography for students who want to go to visit some of these famous cities. It's a good location for them. It's a Christian school, so there is a Christ-centered education system, and they're good, as many of these are, with their academics. Has good sports. The first photo I've included is with volleyball. Is a small school, 135 students, has a great ratio of teachers to students as a result. Grades 9 to 12 and AP available. So some of these schools are smaller, some of them are bigger, but you do get benefits from each. If you have a student who is nervous about the trip of a lifetime and maybe more introverted as opposed to very outgoing and extroverted, these smaller school environments can be just the perfect place for them. Very nurturing, very easy for them to progress, make friends, and have a fantastic time. So there are great, wonderful aspects of going to a school with 200, 250 or fewer students. And you don't need to be a big school to have fantastic sports, like Gateway, elite sports, 250 students. A few photos of Michigan Lutheran. The Menaul School, warm New Mexico, boarding in dorms on campus, as with many of these, with residential advisors, with house parents or dorm parents in place to look after them. It's A+ on the niche rating. It's #1 best Christian school in New Mexico. It is warm climate schooling. It has a college campus feel, green open spaces, and it has a collaboration with the University of New Mexico. So matriculation options are there for students to take advantage of. Students can pre-enroll in some courses as well. Generally strong academics, good sports, 200 in the school, AP and ESL available. A good location, this one. This one has great weekend trip options. Students can go and see the Grand Canyon. So if you like city, you could go see Chicago with some of our schools. If you want nature or impressive, famous wonders, then you could go to the Menaul School and go and see the Grand Canyon on one of your weekends as well. And a few photos of Menaul School for you here. Then we have Nebraska Christian. There's only a few left. We'll go through these. In Nebraska, dorms on campus, private, co-ed, 235 in the school, K through 12, great teacher ratio, 10:1. Has sports, full offering of sports and strong academics, beautiful campus, and well regarded in Nebraska, in schools in general, private schools, and with Christian schools. Nice photos here, Nebraska Christian School. And North Cedar in Wisconsin, also well regarded as the 3rd best boarding school in Wisconsin. This is quite a unique option, as you can see here. 2:1 teacher ratio, 55 students at the school. We talk about big schools, small schools, smaller schools, the benefit, and then we have some really quite unique options that must be considered as well. So 55 students at the school and 2:1 ratio. So something completely unique, a very modern option for you to consider. Big campus, big nature, countryside campus, restaurants and parks nearby. The sports and the outdoor pursuits opens up with this sort of school. So skiing, kayaking, things on the rivers and the lakes, in the mountains as well. So there will be options for outgoing outdoor pursuits. Good arts, 9 through 12 with ESL available as well. As with most schools, American and international borders there as well. They can graduate with options to graduate with an associate degree in arts and science, and there's great university pathway programs too. So really you have a good range with the boarding scholars, from the bigger to the very small and personal to the average sized for private boarding, let's say. So after this, I'll talk to you now a little bit about what we do with the fam trips. So when we start our partnerships and we have existing partnerships or new agencies who are joining us, remember that we do these fam trips. We will send to you the itineraries and what you have to do to unlock the ticket, let's say. But we do bring our most trusted partners on those fam trips and to our conventions. So convention trip, if we receive 4 students, generally we're talking about F1 students here, but remember we have UK high school, we have summer camp as well. So there will be other fam trips that are to do with the UK side, but generally we talk about 4 students, and ABC will send the invitation to join us at the convention, 6 students to join a fam trip at ABC's expense. And if you manage 10 students, then you're invited to everything, effectively. What we want to do is reward our key partners to build the relationship, the trust at those fam trips and conventions. It's us, it's the ABC team that are leading the show. It's us who are there, it's us who are driving the cars on the fam trips, and it's us, of course, who are at the conventions with the boarding schools. So it's a very, very positive trip. And it's something that we will be very happy to welcome as many of you as possible onto. So that's that. If there's any questions, I'll take some questions, and then we can even look briefly at that interactive map that I mentioned. As we're doing the questions, I may just do that for you as well. But just feel free now to shout out any questions you have. And we'll be happy to answer. If I do this, I'll show you as we go. You can see my screen here as well, but that's okay. Can you see this? Maybe Andrea, you could confirm that, yeah?
Yeah, we can see the map.
Yeah, this is a map that we will share. This is what you can do here. It's an interactive map. You can effectively select all of the different programs that we have in the US, including Fast Track there. A different color will come up. There's niche top 100, and there's the select. So you see with the select, we do have long lists as well. But then then you can check on things. Okay, where are these places located? And if we're looking at these specific programs that we have, strength, let's do Fast Track, and let's do the residential house program as well. So you can see where the strength is. We might change the color of Fast Track. It's the gray ones here. So you can see where the strength is in Fast Track. Lots of schools up here in the Northeast. You can see where are the 3 residential house exclusive schools. Indianapolis, as I said, the urban option, Cecina. And I mentioned Bethlehem, Pennsylvania as well. Close to New York City is Bethlehem Catholic up here. And then boarding scholars, if we just finish there, the ones we've been looking at, the purple. So you have from New Mexico down here, the warmth with the Menaul School, to up here with North Cedar in the wilderness with the skiing and the lakes and the kayaking. And when you choose an option and you zoom to have a look where it is, what it's like, what's the town like, you can also check some photos that we have linked for each school. So you can see a little bit what it's like. And of course, you can reach out to your ABC salesperson for more information, more photos, more guidance on this program or any of our programs in the US, the UK, Ireland, any of our programs that we have offering for you. So yes, I will stop sharing my screen, and please do ask any questions about this program or any other program that you might be interested in. If we don't have any questions, we will end the webinar and we will follow up with things like this map interactive link, but also all of the things you need for boarding scholars in particular. The info sheets, make sure you have the price lists, which you should have already. Yes, so thank you for listening. Maybe we'll have 30 seconds for questions, otherwise we will end the webinar. Good, thank you. Thanks, Isabel. Perfect. Okay, I think we'll end the webinar there, and you have our contact as well, so you can reach out for any questions in particular whenever you need.
Thanks, Callum. Thanks, everyone.
Callum